Gather round, it's story time. ComixDad's got the latest on the line. From panels to pixels, we'll explore the world of comics and so much more. Welcome to Talkin Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got. From ink to screen and all in between. With ComixDad and friends, it's the scene. We'll dive into pop culture, what's hot, what's not, entertainment, buzz, the latest plot, content creation, how we make it pop. Sit back, relax, let's talk shop. Welcome to Talkin Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got. From ink to screen and all in between. With ComixDad and friends, it's the scene. Whether it's manga, movies, or memes, we've got the insights, the laughs, and the schemes. So join the chat, let's elevate the conversation, don't hesitate. From classics to new, from indie to mainstream, we'll cover it all like a superhero's dream. Maybe we'll stray talk of other things, but comic love is what gives us wings. Welcome to Talkin Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got. From ink to screen and all in between. With ComixDad and friends, it's the scene.
On ComixDad here for another episode of Talkin Shop, and it is a very, very special and exciting one. We have a wonderful guest with us this evening. Also, thank you to everybody for being here about a whole half an hour to an hour early. I know the shows are normally between 8 and 8:30, but this is probably going to be roughly the start time moving forward, minus the whole 9-minute Fear the Beardo lateness delay. Shout out to Fear the Beardo, by the way. But no, part of that is just because, as a lot of you know, started the new job. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning now, so starting at 7:30 really worked out on Sunday for the pull list. So I figured we're going to do that moving forward for not just that show, but for this show and every subsequent stream as well moving forward. So thank you all so much for being here early. I appreciate you guys. And let's get into the chat so we can say hi to everybody so that we can get to our very, very awesome guest who I'm super excited to have on tonight. So first and foremost, we have Donna Hall, who says first. Donna, what's going on? Great to see you, lady. Thank you so much for being here. Error of Fate, our buddy, says, hello, fellow humans. I will not be attending today, but I will be wishing you all well. Goodbye, fellow humans. Yes, the Error of Fate, I'm sure this is just a shtick of yours at this point, and you're probably just lurking. But regardless, thank you, Error, for being here, and we will catch you next time for sure. Mash is here. Hey, all. What's going on, Mash? Good to see you, buddy. And then Tomby, flying visit. Yeah, Tomby, it's late, man. It's late for you. Get to bed. Deborah Perkins, the legendary Deborah Perkins says, hail, ComixDad and chat. Hail, Deborah Perkins. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're starting to feel better and on the mend. But thank you so much for being here, Deborah. Tomby again saying hi to everybody. And there she is, the legend, Queen Comics wife. The one and only Queen Comics wife. The best queen, the best wife. Okay, comics. But everybody, while you're here at some point tonight, please go check out Queen Comics Wife's channel as well. Open up a new tab or head over to her channel when you're done here over on YouTube and on Rumble. Check her out. She's been doing great. She's going to pick up the slack for me, since I will not be streaming as frequently due to having the new opportunity and new employment and all that stuff. So definitely go check her out and go hang out with her when she's live. Basket City is here. What's going on, Basket City? And John Ambler, the buddy, the brother. What's going on, John? But thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you to the 7 people here on YouTube. I don't have the tracker up for X, but it looks like at least 12 people have at least viewed the broadcast on X. So thank you so much. It's something new that we're trying, broadcasting to X. And a big goose egg on Rumble. But that's fine. No big deal. But ladies and gentlemen, this like I said, this is a very special episode. This guest is a very special guest. For any of you who are fans of pop culture discussions, of theme parks, of entertainment news, also fans of Drunk Thepio and the Monday Hangover. And if you're fans of Valiant Renegade, that Park Place, what is it, that Game Place, the WDW Pro Show, you know of this man or have seen, well, somewhat seen this man on your screens before. And I got to tell you, everybody, I got to see him backstage. It really is Ewan McGregor. I'm just saying that right now. So he just does really good American accent. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the one, the only, the man behind the Jedi Master himself, Jonas J. Campbell.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Get on with it. Jonas, how are you tonight, sir?
I think the only appropriate way to greet you is to say, hello there.
Yes! Yes! That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna live up to that intro. By the way, that makes it sound like I'm a really busy person, all those things you named.
I mean, you are a very busy person. You're a very busy man, at least on paper. Well, and you know what? On paper is all that matters half the time. So, as long as the bosses and the honchos see it looks like you're busy, that's the goal. That's the plan. That's the trick.
That was the trick when I was working in the corporate world. Just block out the calendar. You can't just block out an entire week. You gotta fill it in with a bunch of like 30-minute things. You gotta really vary it, make it look like you're playing Tetris. Maybe have a couple of things overlapping a little bit, and they just leave you alone. It's great.
Yeah, that was I learned that myself with the last place. This place, unfortunately, I can't pull that off. It's a better place overall, though. It's a lot more hands-on of a type of job anyway, so I wouldn't be able to pull that off. But that's fine. But Jonas, sir, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you taking the time out of your very, very busy half an hour blocked out at a time on Teams calendar, Microsoft calendar schedule to join me here.
Here, man.
But and we'll get into more detailed moving on, kind of who you are, what you do, how you got started and involved in what you're doing now. But just for anybody who's watching that may, for whatever reason, they're probably a little crazy if they haven't, but for whatever reason, I have not heard of you or do not know exactly who you are. If you could just do a brief introduction of yourself for everybody, that'd be great.
Well, Jonas J. Campbell, I started this whole thing basically around 2020. I started working on trying to get some of my friends to understand. A lot of friends that had kids, I would go to parties and they would talk about some Disney thing that was coming up, and they knew I was in tune with the Disney stuff, and they would ask me what's coming up and what's around the bend and what to look out for, and I would invariably start telling them about some of the crazy things that Disney was doing. And my wife got to the point where she said, "Could you please stop ranting every time we get together with our friends?" So I decided to, in collaboration with WDW Pro, start putting together a channel called Everything Woke About, and I would just put all of those things in a video, kind of like a CinemaSins thing. It wasn't intentionally like CinemaSins,
Okay.
but it is a video listing of all the weird stuff that I don't know where your audience is on all of this, but from a almost satirical, hyper conservative view, like, I mean, literally, if somebody's kissing and they're not married, I would also point that out in the video, things like that.
Okay.
But of course, the first couple of episodes were around Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, which crazy. And then Velma was right after that. So,
oh boy, you had a strong start then.
Yeah. So I did that for a little while. Also helping that Park Place on some items related to business and investigating stuff around business and writing articles all around that. And eventually got hooked up with Valiant Renegade, and just adding more and more channels and more things to do. I'm more involved with the website than I have been in the past, and there's going to be some big stuff coming around the bend there. But
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we will dive a little deeper into a lot of all that stuff. But thank you so much for the introduction to yourself. And the chat, Hidden B, what's going on? What's up, y'all? Hey, Hidden B, haven't seen you in a while. Hope you've been well. And just some salutations from the chat in there for you, Jonas. But Jonas, I wouldn't be Comics Dad, and this wouldn't be Talking Shop if we didn't, of course, talk some shop, starting with some comics, as I do, as is tradition on this show at this point for what 14 episodes now. So I guess my first question for you, Jonas, is either what kind of got you at some point in your life interested you in comics, or what was maybe your earliest comic book memory that at least compelled you to go and pick up and read a comic book for the first time, maybe, or just some kind of a fond early comic book memory that you have.
So I grew up in a very thrifty household. So somebody offered, there was like a mail out coupon for either X-Men or Spider-Man subscriptions. And I chose Spider-Man.
Yes.
And it was a fun run. I believe Smythe ended up being the villain of that run, but a lot of Black Cat. It was great. I mean, the art was just amazing. The lines of his legs as he's doing all these flips, and you just feel like you're about to get hit in the face with this 2D not animated, 2D drawn foot.
It sometimes felt animated. If it's the run that I think you're talking about, it definitely did feel like it was basically an animation coming off the pages sometimes. So I feel you there.
So I was devouring these books as much as I could, and eventually my grandparents bought me just a huge, and I still have these like sitting in my office, a bunch of DC comics in a bundle, and I don't know where they picked them up. I mean, looking at it, maybe they went to like Sam's Club or something like that, and they're like, "Here's a bunch of comics to sell your kids." I mean, to give your kids, and it was the death of Superman, and I think I
Ooh.
read those probably 1,000 times.
Oh, so they are very well read and loved then.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I had no eye for preserving them in any way. You know, I just read them.
Oh
I
yeah.
do remember there was copies of Spider-Man, like the collected editions of Spider-Man from the library, and I was like, wait. I can check this out from the school library, and it counts as reading. Okay, I know that.
That's I mean, hey, you know what? We went to the library with the kids about a month ago, and while my wife was taking them down there to go find some children's books, and then she went through whatever aisle of the library she was going through, I immediately went and found the graphic novels section of the library, and it makes me so happy because I could stand there and I could just peruse like everybody else and feel okay about only really wanting to look at pretty pictures because I've been bored with reading for ever since I was a teenager. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was the one that I remember in high school they were you had to do a book report, and I chose Mouse,
oh, okay.
Art Spiegelman, and he's like, "It's a comic book. Bring this in before I say yes to it." And I showed it to him. He said, "Okay, yep, approved, immediate approval." And then
Sounds like an awesome teacher.
and then things got work, which is of course the tagline of the book.
That's awesome. I wish I could have gotten away with that. If I did, I probably would have had a better language arts grades in middle school. But it's just because it was like we were reading all the prototypical public school like fawn all over them, the Catcher in the Rye and
Yeah,
the what was it?
there's some
Tale of Two Cities
yeah,
and all
there's some
that.
good ones in there, but they don't teach them in a way that really teaches a lesson. Like
Yeah.
Animal Farm. I remember being forced to read that in high school, and they said, "Well, this is against communism, but let's talk about some of the ways that communism could be effective if." And I'm like, interesting,
Oh boy.
interesting. Okay, first of all, the pigs are walking, so I love Animal Farm, but it's not a comic book. Well, there might actually be a comic book of Animal Farm at this point, but
I have to do some research now. Well, not now, but later.
that's fine. That's what I do. I don't mind the two of us just make everybody watch us Google.
We could absolutely turn that into a show if that's ever what you want to do. Just let me know. I'll even. Where is it? Hold on one second. I got. There we go. Oh no, it doesn't work with the green screen. I can just move my head out of the way, and we can just be two avatars on the screen.
You got to get the audio form in the back.
Yeah, you need to show me how to do that. Which
Oh,
which
yeah.
which may or may not require you revealing yourself to me, Ewan McGregor.
You've seen me.
Oh
In,
yes. Oh wait, yes, that's right. That's right. I did. At the top of the
anyways,
show, I said I did. Slip of the. That's okay. There's six
how
people.
much bit we were doing here.
There's six people here. Nobody's gonna remember. But I appreciate all six people here on the YouTube side and everybody who's checked it out over on X so far. Rumble folk, you're slacking because there's none of you here. But whatever, it is what it is. Anyway, so Jonas, what happened? Because since you are such a busy man and a busy Jedi master, raising all your younglings to be one with the Force as well. I'm gonna dive hard into this the whole time. I'm just saying. I've been waiting. I'm waiting for just to have the Jedi and Star Wars jokes, by the way, and it's gonna be the whole show. But is there anything that you've been reading currently in terms of comics that maybe has caught your interest? Whether it's been something from the independent side, which indies are crushing it right now, or maybe a little more mainstream, but not the big two,
Well,
or
yeah, if you got hardcore comic fans, they'll probably kind of groan at this, but my kids are heavy into Dogman, which technically counts as a comic book. But
I am right there with you. My older one is the same way. So
yeah, but Achromatic Chronicles is what I've been reading with them. I just picked up the newer Transformers, the one from Skybound.
yes. Oh, I wish I had that because I do have a couple of things in a stack here next to me. I wish that was one of them. Dang it.
And I've got a copy of The Last Ronin here, the graphic novel of Last Ronin. I have not gotten a crack it open yet. I'm still looking.
It's chef's kiss. Now, granted, I've been for the last couple of months. I've been talking about how IDW has kind of defecated the bed of their own business with losing the Transformers property and letting that run out and not being able to renew it, and then also just Ninja Turtles. Me personally, I haven't really, it never really compelled me that much from probably about maybe 6 years back or so. Things they started doing it to keep reading it afterwards. But then they started a new volume of it about 7 or 8 months ago, maybe 9 at this point. And so I figured I'd give it a try, but they're already changing writers after 12 issues. So it's not where it should be. But Last Ronin is one of the few W's that IDW has had with the Ninja Turtles, in my personal opinion. So that is a fantastic choice to have to be cracking open sometime soon, hopefully. But you will. I hope you enjoy it because it is some of the best Ninja Turtle storytelling since the Archie Adventures. So,
Wow. And I'm hearing that they are making a movie of it. It's going to be rated R, which
yeah.
I hope it's rated R for violence. I have no desire to hear the turtles talk dirty.
They might do a little bit of that, but yeah, it's if it's done the right way. Think of it kind of like Deadpool, where everybody was like, "Oh, well, Deadpool needs to be an R movie," but it wasn't just the language; it was also because we got like over the top violence and everything. So, hope if they do it the right way, yeah, maybe we'll get a little bit of adult language because they want to push that R rating, but it'll mostly be because it's the Last Ronin gets gritty and almost like street level, like old school Punisher type of justice in some instances.
Mhm.
And but the Last Ronin is you read it and then you will be excited that they're making a movie. So
Dude.
that's I can go on and on and on about it, but I'm not going to because that'll take up the whole show and then some. But hey, IDW is still making comics. Yes, they are. And what is going on, sir? I hope you are doing well today. Let's see. Jose Taco is here. What's going on, Jose Taco? Just trying to catch people as they're popping on in. But so you've been reading. So you have Last Ronin, and you've been reading, like you said, Achromatic Chronicles with the kids and Dogman for the kids. What is something that you have that's in your collection? Maybe that would be, I guess, you could classify as your favorite book in your collection.
Okay, this is a very strange one.
Okay.
And I admit that it's strange.
I'm here for it. I like when people give abnormal answers. So
If I ever walk into a comic shop, the first thing I go for is What If.
yes. Oh, see, I like having live reactions to my guest answers, but the answers that you're giving, I wish I knew beforehand, because I have the green screen up and the room's a mess, and I don't want to go rooting around in my boxes while everybody waits for me. Because I would, because I have a what if that I just picked up a few weeks ago. It's what if I think it was if what if Wolverine was a vampire.
That sounds fantastic.
And
I'm sold.
it is. It really is. And the what if series, especially the good original what if series, really made you think.
Yeah, which made me hate the What If animated series that they just did. Because even it's funny because you think What If has no rules, except that they somehow managed to break all the rules of What If.
Yes, they did. I couldn't watch past when they did the Marvel Zombies,
Yeah,
and that was where I stopped.
yeah. It made the worst crime of a zombie show, which is that they made it boring.
Which, I mean, the only way you could be more bored with a zombie movie, at least in my personal opinion, is if you're watching Warm Bodies.
I was just discussing that. My wife was like, "What was that movie with that one girl who looks like Kristen Stewart but isn't Kristen Stewart?" Like Warm Bodies.
which is, it's funny that I say that, because Warm Bodies is one of my wife's favorite. I guess we could call it a rom-com.
Yeah,
Although
a zombie rom-com, so that means there's two.
yeah. So it's, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I get a chuckle out of it from time to time, but anytime we watch it, it's more just because she wants to watch it. I'll just, okay, dear, yes, we'll watch one of your favorite funny movies while I just sit here and wait for the zombies to, get good. But they never do. They never ever do. No matter how many times I watch it, unfortunately. See, there we go. Excuse me. You heard me. Warm Bodies is okay to watch with you, but I personally get bored with it, Queen. I only watch it because you love it so much, and because I love you, and that's what a good ComixDad does.
See, that's good. That's like that. So,
I'm in trouble later. She gonna get the spoon.
so if I go to a specific issue that's like my favorite, there's one issue, and it has my favorite comic book character in it. It is What If Silver Surfer got the Infinity Gauntlet. Well, it's not actually What If Silver Surfer got the Infinity Gauntlet. And Silver Surfer is my favorite character before anyone misunderstands what I'm about to say. It's what if Mr. Pop-Up got the Infinity Gauntlet? The Impossible Man. So he's bizarre, and that's fine. And I like the fact that he's a different character every frame. But I like Silver Surfer. I think Silver Surfer is probably one of the best characters out of Jack Kirby. It's a very simple origin, but it's at the same time, it's noble. It's self-sacrifice. It's like there's a solitude and a philosophical element to him, but at the same time, he can really throw down if he needs to.
Oh, for sure. It almost like I've always liked the kind of the dynamic of Silver Surfer, where like he wants to be a pacifist, but then he like, when push comes to shove, that pacifism will go out the window if it absolutely needs to. And just because he knows that he doesn't want people to suffer at the hand of Galactus more than they have to. like just make this easy. Let him eat your world, please. I don't want to fight anybody.
He makes a deal with the devil in order to protect his world, and of course, the devil. And I know that Galactus is more of a force of nature than an actual villain, but that whole idea that he takes more than he realized in the bargain, and he has to reclaim his humanity, but he doesn't even know what that is anymore. So he wanted to leave. He didn't want to leave. He longs for home, but at the same time, he knew he didn't belong there. There's so much. There's just so much I love about the way that they handle Norrin Rad, the man that is the Silver Surfer.
Well, and I love how his first kind of taste, or his first revelation of like, wait, I there's something more to life again. Like, wait, I forgot what it's like to actually care, because it takes spending an afternoon with a blind woman to realize all that, while Galactus is going and fighting the Fantastic Four.
Amazing.
And he's just having afternoon tea with a blind lady.
Thing's girlfriend.
Yeah, I can never remember her name. I'm not the biggest Fantastic
Alicia
Four
Masters.
fan. Thank you so much. Yes, I know the Fantastic Four, but Alicia Masters is.
Yeah.
I never hear anybody talk about her because I guess over time she became more inconsequential. I assume.
Yeah.
So I just she's one of the characters. Unfortunately, I don't remember. But
Well, they
okay,
didn't even remember to put her in the Fantastic Four movie. So
I haven't seen it yet. I was considering it, but I didn't want to go.
When you feel like having a nice angry nap.
Yeah, I was considering going and watching it in a way that Disney would not like me to watch it, but I couldn't even bring myself to do it that way and save money. Like I just
agitated most of the movie. Like why is nothing happening?
Oh, it does. Even from the commercials, it did give me kind of that vibe that there wasn't really a whole lot going on other than, oh, we're gonna stand around and talk, and oh, look, it's Pedro Pascal.
Yep, there he is again.
Okay, I may be in trouble. Like Quick Comics Life goes, I watched Warm Bodies once. Well, then my memory in my old age, my memory isn't what it used to be. So whatever. I thought you loved it, Quick Comics Wife.
Just looking at the chat.
Yeah,
I was very fired up about this idea.
Oh, she absolutely was, and it's not par for the course. It's just par for the course. But anyway, but so I have because I always like to when my guests have some show and tell, or in your case, tell and tell. I do like to bring a little bit of show and tell with me as well. I don't have anything out of my collection that's older, but I do just want to touch on something that I actually mentioned on my Sunday show called The Pull List. And so, Jonas, if you're not aware of what The Pull List is, and anybody in chat watching,
yeah, what time is The Pull List?
The Pull List, well, The Pull List was at first it started at 8:30 because I tried to time it for after the Monday Hangover was done. But then after about maybe a month or so of doing that show, I kind of realized that a lot of people were probably just watching Monday Hangover and then going to bed because they have work the next day, or at least getting ready for bed or eating dinner or something like that. So I was like, all right, well, let me see. And put out a poll, gave a couple days, and people decided Sunday was a better day. So I've been doing it for Sundays for the last 2 months now. And I was doing it at 8:00, but now with this, like I said, this new job, I get up very, very early. So I did it at 7:30 this past week, and I think I'm going to stick with 7:30 moving forward. But yeah, the poll list though, for anybody who's watching it doesn't know, it's a weekly show, or weekly when I, am feeling well, because I've missed a few here and there, that I go over just what the new comic books for the week are, because Wednesday is new comic book day at everybody's local comic shops. And this past Sunday, we talked about, or I talked about, because it's just a solo show, Immortal Legend Batman, written by Kyle Higgins. And what it is, it's basically takes place in like an alternate sci-fi, like intergalactic kind of setting, which is, but it's Kyle Higgins says he definitely tried to keep Batman as Batman, but just adjusted it around almost like an intergalactic setting and stuff. So I just want to show a couple pages of the inside, which was really cool. But I got to read it today on my break. So it's just, and this is just the foil version variant. This is what they had at the store. But it's very, here, if anybody wants to see the actual cover, they put that on the inside. So
they are making good Batman comics still then.
Well, unfortunately, the good Batman comics are not mainline Batman, are not mainline like Prime Universe Batman comics. Okay. So, but this was a very fun read. It definitely is setting a really cool setting that I think we would like to see maybe by a different company that owns a very particular intergalactic IP. But no, it's got like just the one issue. You can tell they're trying to set up like Kyle Higgins kind of has like a little bit of like Super Sentai influence in there. So like for anybody that doesn't know what Super Sentai is, like almost like a Power Rangers-esque type of feel, or like maybe a VR Troopers, Beetleborgs type of feel.
Tokusatsu.
But yes, but also kind of a Guardians of the Galaxy-ish type of setting as well, though, where I think some of the people are actually dressed in like almost period Earth clothing, like 1950s period clothing, but they're on another planet or on another complete star
You
system.
don't know what comic
So,
book they could be trying to do.
yes, I that's true. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it's it's Firefly meets Guardians of the Galaxy meets Super Sentai, but like it's the first issue was fun and it was pretty well done, so
Yeah.
I can't wait for that moving forward because I'm not even a big DC fan, but like the non-Prime Universe DC stuff has been pulling me in.
Hmm. See, it's funny you should say Firefly. I started watching Firefly with my daughter, who's a teenager now, and they don't make shows like that right now. They could make shows like that right now. I'm convinced they could, but they really don't. So I watched Jaws last night for the Monday Hangover, and I've been watching Firefly with her, and I'm just pointing out all the things that they don't do anymore when they make things like this, like Firefly. And I know this is a comic show, so I won't go too deep onto Firefly here. But
Nope.
if you look
do
at
do you do,
every,
do you
every crew member of the Serenity represents something about Malcolm Reynolds. If you look at each one of them, whether it's his sense of humor that's kind of died, whether it's his military past with Zoe, whether it's his mercenary current self with Jane,
huh
or Shepard with his faith that he lost. Sorry, Book. And then there's of course Inara, who represents romance and his his actual heart, and it's just you can go through, and there's a little bit with River and Simon there that maybe it's his need to protect. I haven't quite put my finger on it, but the idea that this entire crew revolves around Malcolm Reynolds.
it's been when was the last time I watched Firefly? Because I've never been able to look at it that deeply before, and now I have the first season of Firefly on DVD, so I do have to go back and watch it now that we're talking about it because I'm getting nostalgic. But the last time I watched Firefly, I want to say was probably about 12 years ago. So I probably wasn't thinking too deeply about it then. I wasn't as wise as I am now in my old age. But it's definitely I've never made those connections clearly in the past, but now that you've pointed them out, I got to go back and be very vigilant. But I see like just from what I'm remembering of the show, I am seeing some of the connections that you're talking about. That's you just blew my mind with that. You kind of went Inception on me.
Well, there's a lot too. If you got a character that can represent every viewpoint, then you can have everyone react. What they're gonna say.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to write the line. Then you can just have them walk in, and what would Wash say versus what would Zoe say in that same situation, and then that's good, clear characters, which they don't do anymore in
Oh no.
television because everybody saw Buffy and said, you know what, let's have everybody talk the exact same person to
Mhm.
person. They take all the wrong lessons from. Forgive me, I don't want to say
No, you're good.
and overpraise Joss Whedon. It's just that the entire industry in television tries to do Joss Whedon poorly.
Yeah, yeah. There's nobody that could do Joss Whedon like Joss Whedon.
So
Just like nobody could do James Cameron like James Cameron, because James Cameron does what James Cameron does, not for James Cameron, but because James Cameron does what James Cameron does because he is James Cameron. So,
it's like poetry.
Quick Comics Life said our little one loves when Jaws eats people. She does. She's raising our 5-year-old to be very sadistic. I'm raising her to have a bit of an edge and be very blunt, which her kindergarten teacher absolutely loves, apparently. And Queen Comics Life is raising her to, I guess, be low key homicide, not homicidal, psychopathic. So, because her favorite scene in Jurassic Park also is when the T-Rex eats the lawyer, which I'm proud of her just for that alone.
Yeah.
She chose the right person to want to get eaten. So
I forgot how bloody Quint's death was when I'm sitting there, and my daughter's not a big fan of gore, so she was like, "That was pretty bad, Dad." I'm like, yeah, what? Yeah.
Let's see. She goes, I'm so proud. She is that is one of her proudest moments as a parent. But yeah, that was my show and tell though. And ladies and gentlemen, this wraps up Talking Shop. No, I'm just kidding. This just wraps up our comic book segment. Because really, what this show is more about is not just talking about comics, but it's about knowing to get our guests. Because people that I found on, it's all people that I've been really interested in and want to talk to and know more about, especially how these people all have gotten started and what they do. Like we've had various content creators on, YouTubers, Rumblers, whatever you want to call them, streamers. We also had some comic book artists on, comic book creators on, and trying to expand that. We even had a former wrestler and wrestling promoter on in the likes of Kevin Apollo, a friend of yours, Jonas.
Yeah.
Which that was a fun one. We got to get Kevin back on again one time, because that was, unfortunately, he was I think he was in the middle of working at the time.
Yeah,
but
he's got a pretty big project going on right now.
yeah, but like he was kind enough to still come onto the show. But he afterwards, when we ended, he's like, I got to run. I'm so sorry we cut it short, but like this was awesome. I was like, hey, you came on at all, and it was awesome just having him on. So, but yeah, I like learning more about my guests and kind of just what they do, and because human growth interests me. It just, because especially for people that they grow the right way and they're able to go and do all these wonderful things from unassuming beginnings and starts that kind of lead to where they are now, like you, for example, Jonas. So you touched on it briefly at the beginning of the show, when you were saying how you go to parties and you talk to people about the state of things like Disney and entertainment and everything, and your wife kind of just said, hey, you know what, talk to people about something else, essentially.
Well, eventually I had to defend myself. Like, they brought it up. They asked me.
Yeah,
They were the ones that came and asked me this time. So, what am I supposed to do? Not tell them that there's a weird drag queen episode of a Muppets show?
So let me actually, because you mentioned it. Oh, I have to redo my screen share too. Wonderful.
Look at
there
that
we go.
smiling face.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely better than me. But you mentioned everything it woke about, which I happen to find it right here. And was watching some of it earlier. You need to bring this back, man. This is a lot of fun.
It was these were a lot of fun to do, and some of them took a little bit more work. I would say Picard got split up into 3 episodes because there was just so much stuff. I did an entire season of that show, so I figured I've got an excuse. As long as I can get one of these above 8 minutes, I'll move on. But the Star Wars Celebration is a drag panel. I don't want to put your channel in a weird spot here.
No, you're good. You're good.
But
I'll just keep it hovered over.
There you go. and people can see. Lucasfilm invited this guy named It's a Gay Jedi out to Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, jeez.
They went through a history of drag in Star Wars, which. And they're specifically talking about the movies in all of this, of
course.
And as we're all great Star Wars fans here, we all know all of the times that there were drag queens in Star Wars, right?
For sure, yes. Like at the cantina, like Chewbacca's cousin, Bosque Bosque. Is absolutely 100% drag.
We went through and basically defined everything in the. I forget. Yep, 9 movies at the time as drag. So I just went through and, I tried to come at it from an intellectual level. But one thing that I will say about it is, even trying to get around YouTube's rules, I found that I could respond to the argument, but if I said something sarcastic about it, I didn't actually violate any of YouTube's rules. If I said something sarcastic that implied a problem, instead of actually saying what the problem was.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons for a lot of the way that I say the things that I say. So actually,
I mean, it works, and it provides a good chuckle on top of it. So it worked itself. But I will say I have been very scared to watch this one. Everything woke about Baymax, because our younger one and I we actually love Big Hero 6 together.
Big Hero 6 is fine.
But I'm just nervous because I know it's like kind of a lot of what you did with these was very tongue in cheek, but like even if once I hear it, I won't be able to unhear it.
Mhm.
So even if it's tongue in cheek, I'm still gonna in the back of my mind be like, "Oh, but I remember when Jonas said that one thing." And, oh
Yeah.
man, never.
Well, just
So I'm scared to
so
click
your
on
mind's
it.
at ease. I know we're kind of chuckling about it, but it just the Baymax show that's on Disney Plus. That's pretty much the only problem.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, yeah. Which
aimed at
I
5 years,
watched.
by the way.
I watched that. Yeah, I watched that one with her too. I yeah, and I now that you put it that way, yeah, I did see some things. So like, if she wants to watch it again, which she does once in a while, I kind of have in the back of my mind, okay, what episodes are good and what episodes am I not putting on for her.
Right.
So, but
So I
yeah,
will say it does end with a kind of a convergence of all of the plot lines coming together. So they have everybody that he's affected across the course of the season, including the chef who's allergic to not being gay.
okay, that's good. That's
You
good.
think I'm joking, but
No, just the way I've never heard anybody just describe it like that.
no.
But so you were saying through everything woke. So was it through everything woke that you then connected with VR, or was it you connected with VR and then produced everything woke?
So here's what's funny is I actually reached out to VR. Like I sent him an email just out of the blue, like, "Hey, I'm watching your content, and I do some editing here. If you ever need an editor, let me know." And then as I was reaching out to Pro on the website, thatparkplace.com, I said, "Hey, there's a couple of things you need to be aware of here on the business side from what you're talking about."
It's
There was
almost like I had it planned and ready.
Thank you for doing that. And that's right. Everyone should have thatparkplace.com bookmarked. Check it regularly. There's like, right now, I think we're hitting it's such a heavy news cycle recently that
Yeah.
our editor in chief is Marvin Montanari, does a fantastic job of getting the news out. But we doing like 10 articles, 11 articles a day some days this week because there's so
Really?
much going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Yeah, I'm a little behind just because being, like I said, getting up at 4:30. I'm getting home at 4:30, so I've got essentially 12 hours. So it's been hard for me to keep up with the news cycle this week. But yeah, that's a lot. I got
Yeah.
this weekend is going to be my catch up time to go through the website and read Marvin's articles. But
Yeah.
I can't wait.
So I used to do corporate work back in the day, and then I got into helping people with content creation. And everybody says when I get too vague about that, that makes it sound like everybody's doing like weird things. I'm like, no, not. Definitely not. And eventually, now I'm pretty much almost full time. There's one client I have that is not in this space.
Okay.
Uh, but I used to edit for other people, and now I'm kind of running business operations for that Park Place and in the company that runs that Park Place.
Oh.
Nothing crazy that you guys wouldn't know about here, but and I do stuff for Valiant, I do stuff for Pro. There's some stuff coming around the bend that I think everybody's going to be really excited about, but. Yeah, everything woke was the extension of me reaching out to Pro to say, "Hey, you need to see what this stuff is, and we need to be reporting on it." He
Oh,
says,
geez.
"Oh,
So
write an article then." So
so then the order was kind of what everything woke, reaching out to VR, and then through VR, then
I mean, if we're specific order, reaching out to VR, reaching
okay.
out to Pro to tell them about this stuff, writing articles, and then everyone's like, "Well, why aren't you doing videos on this?" So then
Okay, so it all started. So kind of that Park Place. I guess was it before that Park Place was called that Park Place?
Uh, well, and then we started that Park Place channel after.
Yes,
Once Pro started his channel,
which I've got here.
I was.
Everybody go check out that Park Place, by the way,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
and WDW Pro
You're so nice.
and Valiant Renegade and Jonas on Criticalist.
And the Monday Hangover.
No, Jay gets enough publicity. No,
True. That guy. Forget about that guy. He gets his channel to 100,000 subscribers. He's like, whatever. I'm going to change my channel now. No more Star
and
Wars.
it's keeping up anyway, so more or less. So, like the change is not hitting him nearly as hard.
Yep. That guy. He called himself Forrest Gump the other day, and I was like, Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I see that.
I get a he's I mean we my wife and I, we make it no secret we live in like in the Pennsylvania area, so he's playing it on, at least last I heard him talk about it on Welcome to the Rebellion. He's playing it on coming up to the
Yeah.
Hershey area at some point.
Yep.
So if he does and I'm able to get out there, I'm definitely going to say it's Forrest Gump 3.0, and I'm gonna say that was from Jonas.
Whoa. Actually, that's not bad. I like that a lot.
Trademark trademark pending. Calling it here.
I was texting with him about the Shackalicious roller coaster that they're putting on over at Hershey Park.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen about that.
Oh, it's insane. I love it.
That place is it's a good time if you like just how, I don't want to say cringe, but how like groanable like laughably groanable some
Mhm.
of the candy theming is there at the park, with just the name of the rides and the mascots walking around and everything. But I mean, overall it's a fun time. It's kind of like a slightly more upscale Six Flags.
Well, that's a perfect spot then. The theme park space. I thought I knew a lot about Disney until I got involved with that park place, and
Yes.
then there are guys like Pro, there's guys like Vash.
Vash, yes.
is-
Vash is I was very surprised when I first saw Vash on Pro, and then when I migrated from Pro to that park place and everything. I was very surprised almost how somewhat encyclopedic Vash is when it comes to the theme park space.
He's an encyclopedia that's still being written every day. I'll just say, hey, I'm thinking about talking about this, and he's like, oh, let me go to my notes. And
Just
then
cracks open his head, not even real notes.
and I'm like, how do you have all of this? I think he might literally just take notes on where he sees all of these news stories
Huh.
over the years, and he knows theme parks like nobody else out there. Now there are people who are actually like have been working with Imagineering that have a knowledge of what's going on there. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
But for somebody who has never actually worked for Disney or for an Imagineering firm or with an Imagineering firm, I just the guy is, and then of course good friend Culture Casino that's on there, and he is more connected to the company than most people realize. He's the one that when somebody says, "Has anyone here?" Show of hands, who here has actually built an animatronic? You know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I know you guys have your little birds and ways that you get your information sometimes that you definitely are on the hush hush about. Like, I never realized how connected you guys all really were up until, what was it? I think until the first time I watched coverage about a shareholders meeting,
Oh,
and then I was like, wow, these guys really are in the thick of it.
well, yeah, and this has been said on more than one occasion, so I'm probably fine to say it here. I actually, when I was going through business school, my master's paper that I had to write, which is dozens of pages, was on the Fox and Disney merger, and so I got intimately acquainted with their financials and all the
Oh,
things that they should do and all the things they could do and how it was supposed to work. At the time, I thought Bob Iger was a great businessman. Little did I know that I was falling for some of that pixie dust, and that
yeah.
the only move he had was buying things.
Yeah, well, I mean, he used his weatherman-like powers to just show you the sunshine, and that was about it.
He was great at forecasting.
Oh, maybe in his younger days.
Yeah.
But so I guess what is kind of your, I know you said kind of business operations in a sense, but at least in terms of, I guess, on the let's I guess we'll go over to the content creation side of things. So what is kind of a regular, maybe a regular day for between everything that you do for Pro and for VR for that park place? Like, how does that kind of all come together, and when did you first realize that, hey, I'm actually pretty okay with this producer thing, because I mean, you are essentially producer extraordinaire for the whole That Park Place family. So,
Well, I think there's a few things that happened here. One is that I've always been since around, I don't want to put too fine of a number on it, but for many years I've worked as an editor and on the business side of some large YouTube channels. Um, it's an interesting thing to see. Like if I said the names of, here's a way I could phrase it.
okay.
I've worked with people who are on. They've made documentaries about some of them. People that I've worked with have been on the front page of HBO Max and
Oh.
Netflix and Disney Plus as content creators. Which is not to say that any of them would necessarily know my name. Yeah. By the way, Jenna Ortega would have no idea who I am, but I can say that she's actually a really nice person to work with.
Oh.
So
Huh.
I feel completely fine saying that one because there's no way she remembers me.
Fair enough. I do, since you happen to mention her, I do got it, because it bothers me so much, and I think it bothers a lot of people. Like, what is going on with the botched plastic surgery between her and that actress from The Boys? I can't remember her name off the top of my
So
head.
I think the girl from The Boys might. That's a fun statement to make. The girl from The Boys,
yeah.
she might actually have done some plastic surgery, and I don't want to rag on anybody's physical appearance. I think with Jenna Ortega, that might be contouring and
Okay.
just a look. So I don't know that she's made any permanent changes necessarily.
Gotcha.
I
It was
waiting
a
to see
very
another-
concerning appearance when she
Yeah.
made that appearance. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, and I made the
This poor girl.
I retweeted a picture of maybe it was Shailene Woodley, and I said if she had shaved her eyebrows off, Variety would have said she stuns.
Yeah, I saw that today. People were giving Variety a bunch of guff in the comments. Like, what? Oh, what? Not stuns? She's not stunning. Oh, Variety's been getting hammered pretty good over the last month or so, ever since Superman.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody understands, like, is understanding on a much more fine level that Variety is. They push a narrative even when there is no narrative there whatsoever.
For sure. I mean, hey, but you know what though? Negative publicity is still publicity, and they've
The
been
story
kind of
will-
running with it.
The story
So,
will not be about Donald Trump, and they will make it into a story about Donald Trump, and they'll
Yeah.
put words into the mouth of the person who is probably hates Trump anyways, but they didn't say the thing that they said.
yeah, and for rage clicks than anything else, which
Yeah.
is probably the most upsetting and disgusting part of it all.
Right, and the fellow with the bow tie, is this the gayest Marvel show ever, or whatever it is?
Don't even get
And
me. You know what? Actually, since you the gayest Marvel show, the gayest Marvel movie, the gayest Marvel actor, like this guy.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
I wonder how much of my life has been wasted on Pedro Pascal and that specific clip.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
say that to you because you know that I've gotten it so much worse on my own channels.
Oh, for sure. And also with Kevin and the whole Peepaw thing, I actually played that for him too when he first came on. That was actually the first time I started using that clip. Was when Kevin was here on the channel, and I've just been running with it since because it's such a good clip. I'm so, as awfully put together as it is, I'm so proud of it because it makes me laugh every time.
So with Pro and the fact that he was going to get on YouTube, and I was working with Valiant a little bit on some video stuff here and there, and his channel had 1,000 subs before he released his first video, and because Valiant was pushing him so hard in the really pushing people to subscribe to his channel.
So Valiant would definitely came along before Pro did then.
It's complicated. This is because I was talking with these people on a regular basis before Pro started doing videos. Valiant was already doing videos.
Okay.
And the first video I did with Pro was one on Rock and Roller Coaster and how they were going to get rid of Rock and Roller Coaster with Aerosmith, which, of course, that eventually did happen. That's,
Yeah, I was sad when that happened.
yeah, and now they're replacing it with a Muppets thing that we're not.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's not. Just say we did.
The very optimistic part of me would say, well, let's wait and see before we say that they aren't going to do anything that they should do with that.
Yeah, but how many times have we already fallen for that? that whole let's wait and see mindset, and it's bitten us.
So Pro has me on, and he's like, hey, you got a pretty good voice, so we should see if we can get you on the Valiant Renegade live streams.
Oh.
So that happens, and then Pro starts doing live streams, and we started working on this thing, and Pro says, okay, I need you on the live streams because you understand how YouTube works. Let's work out this thing. I will. We worked out a deal on how I would work on his channel, and it was very much a producer thing. This is not necessarily for hire work. This is, I'm trying to run the channel here.
Yeah.
And he runs that channel, and he could do fine without me. I'll say that. But I think this works well together. Eventually, we started doing that Park Place, and it was just a daily news roundup, and it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also like 3 hours of editing every single morning. So, and a lot of wrangling people, and now we've people would just rather hear what the news is. So let's just do a live stream on a few days a week here, and we'll fill people in.
Oh, for sure. And then it's funny because part of the and I've hopped into the Pro Show chat before on a couple of occasions and said this. It's
always good to see you.
Oh yeah. I mean, I always seem to just haphazardly, because I've been so disgusted with YouTube over the last few months that I've kind of stayed away from it for the most part. Not because of any creators, just because of Google and its practices itself. But I am slowly starting to come back because I realized, hey, I'm not getting my fill of Pro and Jonas and Jay and VR and everybody else that I like to watch over there. But I definitely did need to take a hiatus from YouTube for a while, at least in terms of consuming content and watching other live streams and stuff. Because
I get you, man.
I could go on all day about that. But anyway, yeah. But I've hopped into Pro Chat a couple of times, and the message stays the same. Like, I was really inspired by how you guys do things over there, in terms of just wanting to bring not just things to people's attention in terms of culture and entertainment and what our children are consuming and what these companies are trying to do and this, that, and the other, but also because you guys genuinely care about what you're doing over there. And then because you care so much, the production quality is just so high, and you guys put on a wonderful show every single time. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm not ever going to hit that level of quality, but these guys have inspired me to talk about stuff that I like to talk about, which is
I don't know what you're talking
comics.
about right now. This is I was telling you before I even came on that I like what you're doing here, and that this is you're talking yourself down here, because this is a great show that you've got here, other than the fact that I'm on it.
Hey, the self-deprecating humor is my thing. Go ask Jay about it. The one time I've been on a stream with Jay, it was Mose and Bodie playing Fortnite, and all I did was self-deprecating jokes. He was like, you gotta stop that, man, or I'm gonna mute you. And he ended up muting me. But no, the self-deprecating humor is my thing, Jonas. You stop that right now. But no, I appreciate that. That means a lot hearing that. But no, it was just like I said, it's just you guys kind of doing your thing and realizing, hey, you know what? These are people that they care about the stuff that they have grown up enjoying, and they care about the stuff that their children are enjoying, or at least used to enjoy, and maybe want to continue enjoying. That you guys are bringing light to things that I personally didn't even know about, and neither did Queen Comics Wife. Like we actually went down to Disney in 2023, which I think was just before I discovered you guys on YouTube and started watching heavily. And then when we came back, it was actually funny because it was about a week after we got back from Disney that I just happened to catch an episode of the Pro Show, and you guys were specifically talking Disney and some park related news. I was like, oh, wait, really? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I noticed that. Oh, and it just kind of opened my eyes to things that I wasn't really aware of while we were down there. And now Queen Comics wife and I we refuse to go back unless it's, well, maybe at somebody else's dime.
Was
But
it the phone thing? That's the thing that usually it's one of those things that a lot of people don't realize how much they don't enjoy being on their phone all day long at the parks.
yes. Yes, I think that may have been, well, it was the end of 23. It was around September, like September of 23. So I don't remember what the exact story was that you guys were covering, but it was just, I do remember kind of having a bunch of aha moments. And then it was a rabbit hole. And the more I went back and watched like previous live streams from you guys, and by the way, I love how you guys take your live streams and then clip them up into like shorter, like 15 and 20-minute segments, because that's how I was basically going back and enjoying a lot of the live streams, was in segments like that. But every single segment, every single video, I was going and just further and further down the rabbit hole. And next thing I knew, I was like, what, my sense of what I thought was entertainment for my family and for us, and what I thought was still, something that still at least had a little bit of humanity left in it, shattered, but not in a bad way.
Sounds
Like
awful.
not
You
no
just
no
destroyed
it's
your family time.
yes.
Thank
You guys
WDW.
destroyed the fantasy of it all. But no, but it was a good thing though, because it was eye opening, and it really got me to realize just how much we really shouldn't have been spending our hard-earned money going down there and taking our kids to see some of these movies and letting them watch some stuff on Disney Plus that maybe I wasn't even necessarily aware of some of the undertones at the time. But I guess
That's a
I'm
funny one
going on.
because the thing that I've always pushed for is you can watch something with your kids that is not your exact worldview, and that's totally fine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And but the other thing that we've been trying to encourage is watch it with your kids and then have a discussion about it. See where your kids are. It can be an opportunity to say, "Hey, if you watch this show that portrays, police officers as evil, by the way, many children's shows on on Disney stuff right now.
Yep.
If you want, Louder and Prouder is probably the easiest example because I mean,
Yeah, they don't hide the bias there.
right. And so if you sit down with your kids and if they're regurgitating those points from a cartoon character wholesale, you might think, oh, well, that's fine. They're probably gonna, learn their ABCs, or they're gonna learn to be kind to their neighbors, or it may be that they literally inserted a bunch of propaganda about how Christianity has been detrimental to the black community. That is literally something that was inserted into episodes of Louder and Prouder.
Oh jeez.
Like, what are we doing here, Disney? I'm sure Walt would love that.
Yeah. It's but I think my whole long-winded spiel that I went on about was more of a, now that I've sat and gathered my thoughts for more than literally a second.
Mhm.
I guess what I'm trying to say is just thank you to you and to Pro and to Vash, Culture, VR, everybody involved in what you guys got
Well,
going
thank
on.
you for watching. That's the
Yeah,
only appropriate response is no, thank you.
because it's just so eye-opening to just sit back and hear somebody else not just bring things to light that I wasn't aware of, but also to see that there are other people out there that just regular everyday family people that were noticing some of the same things that I was even starting to notice myself.
Mm.
And I felt almost silly at first, kind of thinking like, oh well, this seems kind of odd, because I was like, it's Disney now, though. There's like that's got to be like maybe just the individual or that particular group of that particular writers room or something. Like, but there's no way. And then it's like I said, the rabbit hole of the Pro Show and VR and that park place that are just then getting into the business aspect and tax implications and shuffling money around for
Right.
buying Hulu and just everything. It's
That was one where I don't know if we would have been able to shine the spotlight on that if we didn't have that exact mix of people, whether it's me or Valiant Renegade, WDW Pro, and some help from Mexican Iron Man.
Yes.
as well.
Oh,
Wrong.
oh.
Was
Is it
that
me?
me or was that you?
I don't know. I don't know, but we're good now. I think so. We'll just pretend it didn't happen.
Okay, I'm gonna run a speed test on my phone and see if it's me.
Okay. But it might have been me for a second, but I think we're good. But yeah, and Mike, the Mexican Iron Man, he actually, I was supposed to have him on at one point, and unfortunately, just travel for work with him got in the way. But he is on the short list of shows for starting next year. To reach out and have him on, because just his acumen of like the stock side and the shareholder side of a lot of this stuff is.
There was a time when he was literally about to go into Disney headquarters, and we were like, do not join this live stream from the Burbank, from the corporate headquarters.
Oh no.
Like,
What?
no, I can go here and I can go here. And I'm like, no, do not do that. Do not do that. He says, no, it's legal. I'm like, I'm not sure security will agree with you.
Yeah, right. Well, and then on top of that, I mean, I'm sure the algorithms would have immediately shut down that stream.
It's been, at this point, when we started, again, going from the idea of the Everything Woke channel was my way to say, instead of ranting at parties, like, here's a playlist right here.
Mhm.
Just go through this. It's the literal video of what's going on and then commentary on it. I realize it's a very quick format. I realize it may not be the best way to communicate this information. We're also trying to avoid getting copyright struck at the same
Yeah,
time.
I was gonna say that's the key.
The only company that's copyright struck the channel is Paramount. So Paramount's one of the few instances where the Rumble version is the complete version of the show, or the complete version of the video, and the YouTube version, I cut out 2 or 3 clips, and they said, no, this is fine now, even though it was a Transformers Earthspark, which
Okay.
that one's pretty bad.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one. I had no desire to. Ever since Transformers Armada, Transformers kind of like slowly died away from me, and then it wasn't until until Daniel Warren Johnson and Image releasing Transformers that I got back into it. So
Yeah,
I know nothing about Transformers Earthspark and all the terrible things that supposedly are in it.
Well, if you
Or I
ever
mean,
want to find
apparently,
out,
not supposedly. I wrong word.
that's okay. It's okay. No, I'm not defensive about it. But I will say that Optimus Prime is asking, just out of the blue, feels the need to ask, what are your pronouns?
Okay. That kind of because the Transformers shouldn't have any pronouns because they're
That's right.
robots. They're things.
And you're right. Nightshade has no pronouns.
Yeah,
Doesn't feel like a he or a she.
Autobots, announce your pronouns.
That's right, Mac. Roll out. Just roll out.
Roll out your 20 pronouns.
There's also some weird stuff about people's arms getting cut off in that. Like, everybody's getting their arms cut off in that one. Where I'm like,
Interesting.
okay, so you're writing this at like a 5th grade or lower level, but all the stuff about cutting everybody's arms off and some of the weird things that are.
Jeez. Oh man, I might just have to go check out Earthspark now just to sit and laugh at some of it.
It's weird.
But so let's transition then from a lot of Disney
Like
and
Autobot.
yes, let's transition like oh, you know what? Actually, no, we're not gonna. That would have been really dark. Good thing I stopped myself. It was funny in my head. I have a dark sense of humor sometimes. Like my wife will be the first one to tell me, like that's not funny. Like, but didn't you hear me chuckle? She's like, yeah, just because you laugh doesn't mean it's funny. Like,
Oh,
dang it.
That's a beautiful statement right there. Just because you laugh doesn't mean it's funny.
Yeah, that's it's she has a couple of gems that she throws out at me once in a while, and they don't hit me right away, but it's kind of like this when I'm bringing it back up in conversation. it then hits me like, hey, you know what? That was a pretty good nugget she dropped on me. But it was where was I going with this? Yeah, to transition to transform from your work with WDW Pro and that Park Place and basically how awful entertainment has gotten, more or less, to just getting involved with Jay and with the Monday Hangover and talking about movies and all sorts of cool stuff. How did that come about?
Well, so I had talked with Jay on the phone a couple of times because of some stories we were working on, and he was kind enough to follow me on X, and I would reach out and say, hey, I'm working on this, working on that. Hey, do you have a comment on this? Do you want us to talk about this aspect of a story? And there was an event one time that Valiant was going to, and he said, and I just was like, and he said, oh, well, Jay's going to be there, Gina Carano's going to be there, this, that, and the other thing's going to happen. I said, hey, let me know if you need somebody to hang around and sponge up all your excess cash. And he's like, and he called me and he's like, you want to come? I was joking. He's like, no, we'll come on, let's make it a party.
Yeah, for sure.
So, anyhow, we show up. I meet Jay. I introduce myself, and he's like, "Oh, you're Jonas." So I met a bunch of people that weekend, and he did introduce me to Gina, which was really cool. She's very nice.
Okay.
This was after the lawsuit had been announced.
Gotcha.
And there was a lot of interesting things that happened to me. I got to meet Gary Ambrosia that weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just out of the blue, I meet this guy who he's over on the Overlord DVD channel a lot. By the way, if you guys have not seen Gary Ambrosia's channel, where he just goes through like all of the movie props that he owns.
Yeah, I've gone through it a couple here and there. It's impressive.
It's really impressive. And then I like turned it on in the background. My wife was watching, and it's like, he has that. Goblets from Princess Bride. He has, and she's like, the next time you see him, you're gonna ask him for one of those, aren't you? I'm like, well, maybe. Gary Ambrosia is also a really nice guy. So
it's good to hear.
Anyways, I meet Jay the same weekend that Butler, Pennsylvania happened.
Oh,
so I'm
that must have been a weird weekend.
Sitting next to Jay, Valiant is asking Gina a question about the lawsuit at her panel, and everybody's phones go up to their faces because they're reading what's going on. And Valiant gets done, and I don't want to hey, they got Trump. Well, they didn't get him. It's not an exact thing that he said, but they
took their shot.
Propelled something at him, and it struck him. Anyways, so all of a sudden we all end up in there's a hotel next door, and the only restaurant's a bar, and we're all going in there and watching the stuff. And who else is in there? Rob Schneider's and this is a tight place.
Really?
Sean Gunn was in there. He was dead quiet.
I can only imagine why.
We're all sitting there like, huh? So it's just
you're in the wrong place.
No,
also give Yondu his fin back. Go put it with his body.
Yeah. So it's this crazy weekend. Anyways, I meet Jay. We kind of talk here and there, and he's always encouraging me, like, yeah, go on camera, do your own channel, do your thing. We might have some projects we could work on down the road. And the Monday Hangover starts. Well, he doesn't actually call it the Monday Hangover. He's like, I'm thinking about doing this thing. What do you think about joining this thing? I know you have no time. And the way I talked about Jay to my wife, I'm thinking I'm going to go tell her about this thing. Jay asked me to be on this live stream. It's in the evenings, and we're trying to keep me from doing evening live streams. He's like, well, if Jay asks, you just got to do it.
Really? That was the response, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Like, okay. Wife says yes. It's in the evenings. I get to watch. Meanwhile, the live stream. I don't know. I don't care what it is for anybody else. For me, it's great.
Oh yeah, it's a fun time. When I can catch it, it's a fun time.
Yeah. So the fact that it's like we're gonna watch old movies that are good, or old movies that are bad that are fun.
Yeah.
For me, it's really opened my eyes to just how bad modern filmmaking is compared to what it used to be in the past. Again, like Jaws is a movie that is meant to please the cheap seats, but it's
Hmm.
also really masterfully made by a guy who could not get his shark to work properly. So, and he makes this masterpiece of blockbuster filmmaking, having to shoot around the fact that nothing is going according to plan. And we get to talk about that stuff
Yeah.
every single week. And I'm getting this reputation. Oh, he's the guy who hates everything. No, I'd like to talk about everything about one of these movies.
I think I think my favorite coverage so far was, besides the Ninja Turtle movie, because peak cinema right there.
Mhm.
Was, I think my favorite coverage so far has to have been Transformers 86, because that I went back and watched it myself before you guys did the show that week, and I just forgot how awful it was. And I was like, oh man, this is the only thing that I enjoyed out of rewatching it was because I know once in a while you'll see me in the chats on Welcome to the Rebellion, just because I like giving Jay a little crap in the chat about Starscream. So for his birthday, because it was fresh in my mind, because I actually rewatched Transformers 86 again about 3 weeks ago. But for his birthday, I posted on next to him, like, hey, I hope your birthday is a great day, a lot better than Starscream's coronation.
Because he likes Starscream, which is
Yes, he does.
fascinating. 'Cause, of all the people, Starscream.
Yeah, yeah. It's, well, Soundwave superior, obviously, first and foremost, but then also just the fact that Starscream is basically Megatron's punching bag.
Yeah.
Like, of all characters, I don't know. I mean, I get the appeal. He's a jet fighter and all that, and he's like kind of underhanded and tries to be devious and sneaky, but it always ends up flat on on his face. Every single time he tries a coup or a takeover or anything. Like, the most the most unaccomplished villain probably in 80s cartoons in my mind. And that's who you pick.
Yeah. I wonder if there was I never heard him actually say the words, but I wonder if he was really close to being drunk Starscream for a second.
Well, I think I know people have been asking him to change the name to that for the channel. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see it sooner rather than later. But I mean, hey, you would know better than me. You're the one that actually has contact with him.
It's been, and he thought about that for a very long time before he finally made the switch. And I hope he's enjoying making the content. That was the thing that we were talking about beforehand. Like, if you enjoy making that change, then make that change.
Yeah.
YouTube is so, it's such a funny thing because it's really easy to take something that you love and turn it into something that you hate because
Yeah.
you're trying to make money doing it. I've been on this platform for a very long time. I'm trying to think when I released the first video that I ever did. I worked on one video that I made for over a month. And
Oh, really?
I'm not saying I worked on a video for over a month, meaning, oh, I thought about it on the first and it released. I mean, like, probably a full month of productivity, like work weeks,
Oh.
putting together.
Oh, okay.
And it got less than 1,000 views.
You know what? That's still not a bad start. I mean,
That is
I don't sit here and view count anymore because it's just been so demoralizing for me personally. But that's still, in my mind, that's still an impressive start. Hey, you didn't break the 1,000, but I mean, if you had more than 100, good on you.
well. So here's the thing: is I had a video go viral. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, I thought of it, I recorded it, and uploaded it all within the course of about 5 minutes, and it got across several platforms 2.5 to 3 million views.
Oh, wow.
And it didn't fit with my content, and so anyone clicking on that wasn't going to stick around for the rest of it. So, you know, I
Okay.
got a lesson within a couple of years there of, you know, I learned how to do YouTube. I also learned how not to do YouTube.
Fair.
And,
Fair. And
you
then
know,
meanwhile, you've got a mumbling oaf like me, where I'm just like, I'll throw out a video here and there. Oh, when I get around to it. Oh, let me talk about comics. Oh, let me have a podcast where I talk about content creation with creators. Oh, let me do gaming streams. Oh, let me do this. Let me do that. I'm not me personally.
ComixDad is the brand then.
I just don't have the bandwidth to
You.
create like 5 different friggin' channels.
Yeah, yeah. There's an art to it. You have to figure out, you know, if you come up with an idea, you got to figure out, well, how am I going to do this and where I'm going to fit it in.
Yeah, and I mean, in the grand scheme of things of the YouTube algorithm, I think I've more or less buried myself. But I appreciate the currently 5 people hanging out on YouTube. Like my audience is my audience, and whoever shows up, and I'm appreciative to each and every single one of them. But like my I don't think I ever had dreams of being like, oh, creating like this big, huge YouTube channel or anything like that. But like the little bit of aspiration I think I did have, like, is out the window. And at this point, I'm just kind of like, screw it. We'll just have fun.
I mean, that's the way to do it. Because there are ways to do this in a way that is no fun at all that will definitely make money. They're just
For sure.
really intensive.
Yeah. And I think you guys have between you and when I say you guys, I mean like you and Jay, but then also you and Pro and Valiant, Bash, and all the other guys involved over there. Like, you guys have found kind of the key to it. Like, you're talking about things that you love, you're talking about things that you're passionate about, but you're also presenting it in a way that maybe on the back end, or maybe initially, is can be seen as maybe a little tiresome, or maybe a little bit negative or whatever. But it doesn't really, when people tune in and hear you guys talk about it in the way that you're talking about it, you're talking about it in a perspective that it doesn't come off as negative, it comes off as passionate. And I think that's part of the big draw, is that people can appreciate your passion for what you guys are doing. And I know I do.
Well, we've all also kind of made an agreement with each other that, you know, we're going to try, for the most part, every now and then something happens that is not going to be very fun to talk about. That happens
for sure,
all the time. But we all kind of talk afterwards and say, okay, we're going to try to be positive with this one. And then Culture Casino comes in and says, no, it's Marxism. I love that guy.
He seems like he's good people. I have this kind of pipe dream goal for next year, to get like all the I don't want to say ancillary, because nobody is ancillary in any of the groups of creators and stuff that I watch, because it without any one particular person, the dynamic of these different groups all just completely changes. But like, more just, I guess, because like the brand is Pro, or like the brand of like Monday Hangover is like because it's Jay's channel, or the brand of like the GCA as the whole. If you're familiar, well, obviously you're familiar with the GCA because you with Mo on Monday Hangover.
They're late and gay.
Yes, always late and gay, and it's a great time. But like I have this idea and this goal for next year, that I would love to get the, for lack of a better word, ancillary people that are involved with all these different bigger groups and everything. Like I mentioned Mike, I wanted to have Mike on this year. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. I'm going to shoot for next year. Culture, I'd love to have Culture on. I want to get some more members of the GCA on as well. What was it? Sevi, I was supposed to go over onto a show that Sevi was doing. Unfortunately, I think they've ended up canceling that show. But like Sevi, I'd like to have her on at some point. And Mike, I had Blaine on a couple of months ago. Like, as awesome as it would be to have like the pros and the VRs and the J's and the Nerdrotics and everything, like, it's not just about those people, as important and great as they are. It's about everybody else as well. And that's kind of part of the reason for this show, is not just to talk to creators and comic book people in the comic book space and everything, but also to like kind of help shine a light on the more or less unsung heroes and the people that kind of help mesh everything together for the things that we all love, for like the larger things that we associate those groups with.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a funny thing when we have people on the show that there are some people who are really excited to get on there, and it's never trying to be like you're not trying to take advantage of somebody. You're trying to say, hey, you have a good perspective on this. We want to bring you in to talk about this thing.
Oh, for sure.
You know, one of the things that I somebody came after Pro and he said, "You're a nobody." He says, "Well, nobody's a nobody, you know." And or somebody says, "What are your qualifications to talk about this?" And I'll say, I'm no one special. I happen to think I'm correct, but I'm no one special."
A man after my own heart. Yes.
Yeah, that's the one good thing when you can go to the facts. It's like, it doesn't matter if I'm qualified. It matters if I'm right.
Yep. And if Queen Comics Wife is still here, I can imagine she is getting anxiety just hearing me agree with you on that, because I have a tendency to no matter what, at the end of the day, all that matters is what is factually correct.
I will tell you that is absolutely when in the court of law, absolutely. When you're arguing with your wife, it doesn't matter what truth is.
Oh no, I know that. I just can't help myself.
Yeah. The truth mimight be your enemy if you're having a domestic argument. Yeah.
It definitely does not set me free, I'll tell you that much. But Jonas, I know you messaged me. I know you sent me a private message a little bit ago. You got to get going, so I'm real quick just going to throw up all the websites here. But where, obviously we've talked about everywhere where people can find you, but just remind everybody where they can find you and what you have maybe coming up that people want to go check out.
Well, there's always content on That Park Place. We've got a good team over there going over what's going on at the theme parks, generally Disney, also expanding to Universal, sometimes Dollywood. The WDW Pro channel, we get to talk about that stuff on more of a cultural level. And right now, going over the Cracker Barrel stuff, that's been a fascinating conversation, a thing to watch. There's echoes of what happened to Disney that are happening to Cracker Barrel. It is really the same problem when it comes down to it, which is a interesting idea there. The idea of somebody coming in and saying, "Oh, I'll fix this for you."
I'll fix this for you with my ideologies. Why not?
I'll be. I think the next live stream that I'll be on is probably the Monday Hangover.
Okay,
and that is going to be they're streaming on Labor Day, but I'll be traveling right up until that point. I'm going to try to find an excuse to watch Jaws 3 more times before, because every time I watch it, I see something new that I enjoy about that movie. I don't think it's as good as Jurassic Park. But it's an amazing film.
Oh yeah, it's always it's always a good watch.
I like to remind people of my rankings because it just makes people mad. I don't know why.
I just no matter what you do when you do a rankings, just always remember to tell Mo SWAT Cats S tier. Every time I happen to talk to him, like every other time I get in a message with him or something, I'll just throw that in there, and it just gets him in a fun way. It gets him going a little bit. Like, yes, just remember S tier facts.
And then on also sometimes I get to be on the Valiant Renegade show. I'm probably not going to be there this Sunday because I'll be out of pocket, but man, it's fun to get on there and do the earnings calls, because no one else in the space seems to want to do those earnings calls. There was a couple of people that tried it. People, you have to. I'm not saying I'm great. I'm not. But it takes a nerd to enjoy reading a company's 10K filings.
Oh, for sure, sure it does. But it's. You guys present it in a way when VR does them, when you and he has the other various Mike and various other people he has on for him, you guys present them in a way that also make them digestible to people that don't necessarily understand exactly what's being talked about. And I think that's a big part of why you guys and VR has been so successful in covering those, especially doing them live.
Well, I don't think any of us would be here, and I mean you would be here because you're doing great things, but I don't think any of us on the Pro channel or That Park Place would be here if Valiant wasn't covering the earnings calls, because that's just something that I don't think that was a thing before Valiant started doing them.
I can't recall that, and not even just for Disney. For I don't think really any company, like period.
Yep.
And also with that, just stop with trying to flatter me. I'm nobody. I'm nothing special. I'm just a functional idiot on the internet. So,
But you're
but
very good at PlayStation Spider-Man.
fair enough. Which, wow, we're coming up on what, almost a year since that. We're like 3 months away from a year from since that, I think now. So, oh man, I gotta maybe pull that one back out because that might have been when I got my biggest amount of views.
Great.
And then since then it's ooh. But it's just, you say without VR there's really none of you guys, uh and you said I would still probably be here. Honestly, without you guys I probably wouldn't be here, because like I said, you guys were kind of my initial inspiration for just taking the chance to go and start a channel. So thank you again for just you guys being
Well,
you.
you have my apologies, man. I didn't mean to.
Stop. I said the self-deprecating thing was mine. Stop it. But and I guess by extension, thank you to VR as well then, since he with you're saying without him there's no you guys. Well, without you guys there's no ComixDad. So but yeah, and then also obviously you're on Criticless. And
That's true. And you guys all need to get on Criticless.
yes, I am actually on there. I don't do as nearly as many reviews as you and everybody else does, because just I have my initial thoughts, and then if I go to put them down, I'm like, dang it, what was that thought again? Or I just want to go and like just type a whole long paragraph, but not have any actual structure to it, and then it'll just be the ramblings of a madman. So I have to kind of pick and choose the movies which I really want to sit down and do some critical thinking on, and write a review about.
Well, you're on there. I know Jose Taco. I just realized that it's not a J on Jose Taco.
Yeah, it's Jose A Taco.
Jose Taco.
It's Jose Taco. Yes.
Why did that take me so long to figure that out? And that's not just over the last hour and a half on this live stream.
No, I'm sure you've seen it before too in chats. Yeah, it's Jose Taco.
Yeah.
Hail to Jose Taco. But and then oh, okay, well, if the echo's gone, sweet. I heard echo. That's why I stuttered like that, folks.
I'm sorry to hear that. It was a horrible show.
But I guess besides just what you got going on, do you have any aspirations for the rest of the year, or any exciting things maybe that we can look forward to just in general, for here to the end of the year, that you maybe give us a little, not necessarily an exclusive scoop on, but just a little maybe heads up on?
There is a really big thing that I'm working on right now, and I can't really talk about it much, but you can point back to this conversation, and if you think I'm busy now, just wait till you find out what we're about to announce. The announcement might not even come from anyone on that Park Place right now. It might not come from WDW Pro or even Valiant Renegade. It will come from outside of outside of that part of the community. And I'm pretty sure you're going to hear it.
It's going to be me, guys. I'm just telling you. I'm going to be the one doing the announcement.
ComixDad.com.
Yeah, yes. ComixDadPlace.com.
That ComixDad Place.
That ComixDad. That self-deprecating ComixDadPlace.com.
Put it on a lunchbox. Sell it. We're starting a theme park.
There we go. And all it is just comic books, literally just like magic carpet rides.
All the jokes that should be dad.
And all the dad jokes, absolutely. But Jonas, yeah, I know you got to get going. I already kept you a little longer than I probably should have, so apologies. But thank you so much for joining me, Jonas. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. You're a busy man, taking time out of your schedule, especially also away from the family, doing a night stream with me. So thank you so much, Jonas. And chat, thank you guys for being here. Justin Belmont, what's going on? Everybody go check out Justin Belmont and his comic books that he's got, that he has out. He has Pencils Down, and also Smokes the Fox, Weaponized Werewolf. You go find him on Fun My Comic, and also just go to Belmont Comics Press. or Belmont Press Comics. I'm sorry, but Justin was on the show several weeks back. It was a fun time with him as well, so go check him out. But thank you everybody so much for being here. Please come back on Sunday night for a new episode of the Pull List, Jonas. That's going to be at 7:30. This way, you know, because you asked. But yeah, and then other than that, guys, after I think Saturday, I might be doing just one final impromptu gaming stream, because this is going to be the last month that I will try to hit the metrics for the Rumble Creator Program to get that little measly payout just to help pay an extra bill. But now that I have the job, I'm not going to sink that much time into all the streaming and stuff like I've been doing. But so come on by for that, guys. Come on by Sunday, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your week, a great weekend. And Jonas, I hope you do the same, sir. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yep, thank you for having me.
All right, everybody, this is me. I'm ComixDad. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're out of here.
Yeah.
So tune in, geek out, it's all in good fun. Talking shop with ComixDad, everyone. Let's keep the conversation lively and bright. See you next time for more insight. Welcome to Talkin' Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got, from ink to screen and all in between. With ComixDad and friends, it's the scene.